Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Hey, like, subscribe, become a member, follow me on all the platforms, Hood Champions. Go out there, you'll find it. And leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. Hey, yo, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields. That song is alright. She need to drop that one. Anyway, man. Claressa Shields, the orgasm before a fight. Y'all think I'm tripping? Claressa Shields said something wild and people lost their minds. The question, should a woman be judged for speaking openly about sex and her own body? And was it smart? Was it classy? Was it necessary? And let's just talk about it respectfully, but let's be honest, all right? Let me just say this before I get into my outline, man. Women will never be able to come out here and talk about sex and different things the way a man can, because that's just society. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just how it is, right? It just stings your ears when you hear a woman come out here talking about having an orgasm and this and that and my legs and this. Like, you don't need to get into all them fucking specifics, man. You know what I'm saying? And for her to come out there and do that, they brought it to my attention. I didn't even know that anything like that was. I've heard her say stuff before, like she liked to wait, 6 weeks or something. Which I still think I don't think she should. I mean, I just think she need a PR person. I'll put it to you that way. But people reacted for a certain reason. Sexual topics from women athletes get judged harsher. Okay, it is what it is, man. People treat men's sexual comments as jokes. Women get labeled as classless, trashy, toxic, hoes. That's just what it is, man. And I'm not telling you I agree with that. It's just the stuff I'm seeing and listening to people. I'm like, man, Claressa already has critics, man. And some fans dislike her confidence. So anything she says gets extra magnified. But the thing is, she's saying stuff which, she should be able to talk about things. I can't sit here and say she shouldn't. She should. But, people are going to take it and they're going to run with it. They're going to say, nah. They're just going to look at it and just turn it into a negative. But it's unusual in boxing culture. People expect war talk, not bedroom talk. And she does tend to talk about it a little too much. In almost any interview, she's talking about the same thing. Championship belt, gold medal, and sex. Or she's talking about her butt. I mean, every interview is the same thing. Like, yo, change the goddamn song already. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, she could do what she wants, because I don't care. It's starting to get annoying. Like, you got to be other things you could talk about. But should a woman be judged? Let's be honest, man. She shouldn't be judged more harshly just because she's a woman. All right? She shouldn't. Men fighters talk about sex all the time. Men in the rap songs. Men always talking about sex. But when you're a public figure, what you say can either strengthen your image or give haters ammunition. They got the weapon on full blast. They're just waiting to hit you up. And I think Claressa walks a razor-thin line. She's always fighting sexism, double standards, her own reputation as too bold, the thing about adultery. Claressa, you notice that Claressa Shields, she don't look like she's ready to get back in the ring, but she goddamn every day she's in a fight with somebody online, isn't she? Every day she out here got a mouthpiece on, Vaseline on, gloves on, and boxing and shit. Online. But she don't look like she's ready to get back in the ring no time soon. I tell you that shit. So, was it wise? I think there's pros and cons, you know what I mean? To some people, it's like me. It's like, yo, she's just human. Do I agree with it? No, I don't. But she can do what she wants. But she's human, The stuff that she's talking about out in the open, the same shit I'm sure people talk about just away from the camera. And that's something that some people feel she need to learn. She need to realize, take that conversation away from the camera. Then she said something about, I'm not going to have sex, but I make sure that, Papoose is taken care of. He's straight. So that had people out here like, what you doing? What's going on? How? Who, what, when, where, how? You making sure he's straight? But I'm just like, yo, you're saying too much at this point in time. Don't come out here talking about the sex, don't talk about orgasms, and don't talk about how you stop 6 weeks before the fight for you, but you still take care of your man and make sure he's straight. Because people are now wondering how. Oh, shit. But anyway, man, it made her more human, more real. Shit went viral. And she's just comfortable with her own body, you know what I mean? So it broke taboo because I don't think I've ever heard a female boxer, a female athlete, openly talk about sex the way Claressa Shields. It's like she's ready. Like if somebody was to say, well, tell us more, she'd be like, girl, and he brought the hot cup of yogurt in there and he splashed it on my back. Girl, you got to see what we got going on in there. You know what I'm saying? The dog was in there biting the cat. She wants to talk about that shit. And there's one guy out there. There's one perverted motherfucker out there who I know. He would love to get them conversations going. I ain't gonna say no names and shit, but there's one motherfucker out here who does interviews. There's a fucking pervert. And I know y'all don't hear me talk like that, but fuck it. All right? That's how I feel. There's one person out here who's a fucking perverted motherfucker. You give him an opportunity to really dig deep and go into specifics about shit, that perverted, big-nosed motherfucker would lose his mind. He would love to hear that. And that's why I just think, for me, they can do what they want. But it's, you can do what you want, man. Because it looks unprofessional, all right? It looks unprofessional, especially to a mainstream audience. And one thing about sponsors and endorsement deals, nobody wants to deal with sexual controversy. You know what I'm saying? So just leave it alone because there's so many critics out here. I'm critical of her for the Layla Ali, Muhammad Ali disrespect. Everyone knows that. I talk about that as much as she talks about her gold medals and her championship belts. But beyond that, she's annoying and shit. But really, I mean, I don't dislike her. It's just like, yo, just toxic. But there are people out here who see what she's doing. Like, the critics want to make her seem unclassy. They want to make her seem a kind of way. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of good in her, but she just ain't polished, that's all. She hasn't been groomed for the media. And maybe she's like, I'm going to say what I want. I don't need no filter. Okay, well then deal with the backlash. Deal with people on social media judging you and labeling you as unclassy and all these other horrible things they say. I ain't going to say it on my channel because that ain't my style. But I'll just put it, take the term classy, imagine that as an umbrella, open it up, and everything that will fall underneath the unclassy umbrella, then that's what people are saying. And that's what happens. So but the bottom line, it distracts from her actual legacy. Undisputed greatness, all that stuff she talks about. So, was it wise? Is it wise? Matter of fact, now think about it. If you have someone in every interview, they want to talk about sex and what they do and don't do before a fight, I personally think they do it intentionally. I do. Because for her, it's just her, it's who she is. It's authentically Claressa Shields. Gonna do what she wants, say what she wants, and she doesn't care what you think. And when you think about that, you gotta put some respect on her name. Because she's out here doing and saying shit that most people won't do. I don't agree with a lot, almost all of it. But I do respect the fact that someone can be themselves. It's just like Adrian Broner. That man was an amazing boxer. He did what he wanted. I respected that. He talked how he wanted. I respected that. But I didn't like it. But you got to respect that because at least you know what you're getting. It's like me. I got this YouTube channel. I talk boxing. You get some of my personality, but there's some things that I won't say, and not because I'm afraid to. Well, I am afraid to say it because YouTube will kill my channel. But if I started piping up and doing all that, I ain't an easy person to want to be around. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to a lot of this bullshit, I just take a deep breath and roll with the punches. But I ain't an easy person to be around when it comes to stupidity. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of raw. So I respect some of the rawness when it comes to some of these people. Because I have that same shit about me. Just don't care about some things, you know what I mean? But at the same time, man, you get to a point to where you learn to listen a whole lot and talk very little. She hasn't learned that. So how should she handle the criticism? Because I'm like, she did that interview with the chick named Sherry, right, on YouTube. It's only like a 9-minute interview. But I'm like, I listened to everything in there. I'm like, that's what they pulled out? Just the part about the sex and orgasm of Papoose, or I take care of him and make sure he's straight. Out of everything she was saying in there, although it's redundant, that's what people pulled out and want to talk about. Like, yo, I understand, but I mean, it's like, yo, well, it's like, I ain't saying cut her no slack, but I'm kind of saying cut her some slack. Like, but anyway, as long as she keep talking, I'm going to keep doing videos because she be giving some good goddamn material, boy. But just don't apologize. Clarify. Explain the comment scientifically, endorphin release, relaxation, or just don't even talk about it. You know, emphasize confidence, not shock value. You know what I mean? If you're going to talk about it. Use humor. Hey, at least I didn't say what round, and, you know, find a way to soften what you're saying if you're going to say it. But then, you know, find a way to pivot the conversation back to boxing. Don't just leave it out there laying on the bed. You know what I mean? Bring it back to the ring. Because at the end of the day, whether you like her or not, she's one of the greatest female fighters ever. And at the end of the day, that matters. But she's just got to goddamn get some PR training, boy. Get some PR training, you know. But then again, my boy E-Dogs came out and he was like, yo, man, I work for All Hip Hop. And I'm telling you, people talking about you, that's all that matters. And this could be a situation like they're talking about me. Because I tell you what, if that's their intention to make sure people are talking about her, they've done a brilliant job of that. Because everybody been talking about her nonstop. Really since the Layla Ali drama. So I don't know if she should be giving herself a tap on the back saying I've done a good job, or she should be thanking Layla Ali. Because the bottom line is people haven't stopped talking about her ever since the Layla Ali shit. And they're probably not going to stop talking anytime soon because of her whole situation. It's just crazy, man. That shit's just crazy. But anyway, I'll probably talk about that tonight at the 9 o'clock live. You know what I mean? The double standard with men and women talking about sex, what should and shouldn't be allowed, and if that's right. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Claressa Shields. People want to know, when you stop the freaky deaky 6 months out, what are you doing to make sure Papoose is straight? What I'm doing, Papoose, come tell them what I do, Papoose. I give you some of this pumpkin spice latte over here. Right? Hood champion over there making jokes. Yep, Papoose, I don't have to worry about nothing. Because one thing for sure, I may stop popping it, but I'm going to make sure he get that pumpkin spice latte. Papoose don't have to worry about nothing. Yo, in the breeze.